someone told you that you could not do it. Maybe they said it directly, with words, with a specific sentence that you still hear sometimes in the quiet moments. Maybe they said it without words, with a look, with a silence that was louder than anything they could have spoken, with the absence of belief in their eyes when you told them what you were going to build. Or maybe it was not one person. Maybe it was everyone. Maybe the doubt came from every direction at once, from the people closest to you, from the circumstances surrounding you, from the voice inside you that had absorbed so much external doubt that it started generating its own. And somewhere in all of that, you made a choice. Not a dramatic choice, not a choice with applause or witnesses or any external confirmation that it was the right one. A quiet choice. To keep going anyway. To build anyway. To believe in something that nobody around you was willing to believe in because you could feel it. Not see it. Not prove it. Not explain it to anyone in a way they would understand. But feel it. That quiet certainty that the thing you were reaching for was real, even when every person around you was telling you it was not. This video is about what happens to that man, what the doubt was actually doing to him while he was fighting it, and why the man nobody believed in always wins in the end. Stay with me, because what I am about to show you is going to permanently change the way you see every person who ever doubted you. Let me tell you the first thing that nobody around you understands about the doubt you have been carrying. The doubt was never really about you. I need you to hear that again. The doubt was never about your capacity, your potential, your likelihood of success. It was about the capacity of the person expressing it. Here is the truth about how human beings assess what is possible. We use ourselves as the reference point. When someone looks at your dream, your goal, your vision for what you are going to build, and tells you it is not realistic or not possible or not for someone like you, they are not making an assessment of you. They are making an assessment of themselves. They are telling you the limit of what they believe is possible for a person who looks like them, in a life that feels like theirs, with the resources they have access to, and the failures they have accumulated. They are projecting their ceiling onto your potential, and their ceiling is not your ceiling. Their ceiling is built from their history, their fears, their unrealized dreams that calcified over time into the belief that dreams simply do not come true for people like them. Their ceiling has nothing to do with you, but they handed it to you, and you have been carrying it as though it belonged to you. It does not. Give it back. Here is what the doubt was secretly doing to you while you were fighting it. It was building you, not in spite of itself, because of itself. The Stoics had a concept that Marcus Aurelius returned to again and again in his private journals. The obstacle is the way. Not the obstacle is something you overcome on the way. The obstacle itself is the path. The doubt itself is the training. The resistance itself is the mechanism of development. Because here is the truth about what a man becomes when he builds in an environment where nobody believes he can. He develops a relationship with his own certainty that a man who was supported and believed in from the beginning never has to develop. The supported man's certainty is partly borrowed. It is supplemented by the belief of the people around him. When his own belief wavers, he reaches for theirs, and it is there, waiting, sustaining him through the moments of doubt. But the man who builds with no support, whose belief is not supplemented by anyone else's, whose certainty has no external source to draw from when it weakens, that man has to build something inside himself that the supported man never needed. A self-generating certainty, a belief that does not depend on anyone else's agreement to sustain itself. And that internal self-generating certainty is the most powerful thing a man can possess, because it cannot be taken by anyone who withdraws their support, because it was never built on their support in the first place. Let me spend 60 seconds on the people who doubted you most severely, because I want to say something about them that most videos like this never say. They were not your enemies. They were your training partners. Every time someone told you that you could not do it, they were giving you an opportunity to answer a question. A question that the supported man never gets asked. Do you believe in this without their agreement? Do you believe in this without evidence? Do you believe in this when the only person saying yes is the voice inside you that has been there the entire time? No freedom, no external conditions that suggested anything significant was possible for a man in his position. Every external signal pointed to one conclusion. This man will not become anything beyond what his circumstances dictate. And yet, Epictetus became one of the most influential philosophers in human history. Not despite his circumstances, because of what his circumstances forced him to develop. An internal world so completely independent of external conditions that no external condition could ultimately contain him. He had no choice but to build everything from the inside, because nothing on the outside was available. And what he built on the inside outlasted every person who ever benefited from the system that enslaved him. His words are still read 2,000 years later. The names of the people who doubted his potential are not. That is the pattern. That has always been the pattern. The man nobody believed in, building something in the silence of his doubt, that the people who doubted him are eventually remembered through. Not for their doubt, for what it helped build. I want to close with something I need you to carry out of this video. The people who doubted you were not wrong because they were evil. They were wrong because they looked at you and saw themselves. They saw their own limits, their own unrealized potential, their own dreams that they had decided were not possible. And they handed all of that to you, wrapped in certainty, delivered with conviction, and sometimes love. Because sometimes the people who doubt you most are the people who love you most, who are trying to protect you from a disappointment they cannot imagine you surviving, who would rather you stay small and safe than reach for something large and uncertain. Their doubt was not malice, it was fear. And fear has never been a reliable guide to what is possible. You know what is possible. You have always known. The voice that has been with you from the beginning, the one that said yes when everything else said no, that voice was not naive. It was not delusional. It was not setting you up for a fall. It was seeing something in you that the doubters could not see, because it requires access to your interior to see it. And only you have that access. Trust what you see in there. Build what you know is possible. Show up for the vision when the vision is the only thing showing up for you. Because the man nobody believed in does not win despite the doubt. He wins because of everything the doubt forced him to become. And what he becomes in that process is something the world will eventually have no choice but to acknowledge. Keep going. The ending of this story has always been the same. You just have to stay in it long enough to reach it. If this hit you exactly where you needed it, subscribe. We build here every single week. Drop a comment. Has someone ever told you that you could not do it? Drop yes and tell me what you are building anyway. See you in the next one.